Happy New Year. It's January 6th, 2023. I'd hoped to close out the year with last year with a little hike. We got it caught up in cooking prime rib and making cookies for a New Year's party we were invited to. And then I had to work on New Year's Day, which did not happen because I woke up, got dressed, and did not feel well. I ended up having to call off, which is not something I tend to do. Tend to not take sick days because I don't get sick very often. Tend to work the holidays. I like those people with children, family, friends to be able to get together. There are those who are like, oh, you're going for the holiday pay. I was like, no, I don't get paid enough to even worry about holiday pay. Got up on Monday and wanted to take this hike, and I still wasn't feeling well. Got up on Tuesday, had to go to work, still not feeling well. Got up on Wednesday, take this hike, just feeling run down. After pushing myself working Tuesday, where I did 22,000 steps at work. Now, I did 11,000 and something steps, 11,500 steps on Thursday at work. That was about 7.35 miles, something like that. So I'm not exactly sure what the 22,000 steps are. Maybe 11 miles. And I woke up this morning, got on my hiking gear, got everything all pulled together. Lunchtime rolled around, ate lunch. Eating lunch made me sleepy, so I took a nap. It is now, I don't know, 3. 3:15. Finally managed to get out of the house. I will take a little different path today, but right now, I'm just gonna stop for a second. I forgot to turn my app on. See you in a bit.
Workout paused.
And we're back.
Workout resumed.
So, my neck was stiff. And that's how I got myself out of the house. I said, well, your neck is stiff because you're sitting in your recliner watching YouTube instead of getting out and going hiking. So I got myself motivated. Had everything packed, just had to put it on and walk out the door. That just seemed like a chore. And from inside, outside just looks nasty. But in actuality, it's nasty
Workout paused.
as that looks. My phone says it's 81 degrees out here.
Workout resumed.
I think that's a bit optimistic. I think it's 70 something. I think my phone's grabbing weather data off of the heat of the tarmac down at the airport or something like that. 'Cause it's a little cool out here, but it ain't cold. Somebody had the misfortune of running into that.
Workout paused.
Not fun for you non-desert dwellers. That's not only sharp, gets right into your skin, but it has microfibers in it that point backwards down the shaft of this cactus needle, so that as you move or as you pull on it, it forces itself deeper and deeper into your skin. So you go through not only the pain of getting that, but you'll go through several weeks, even months of your body trying to work that cactus spine out of your body. It is not fun. So anyways, I got motivated, got out the house. So I'd like to let y'all know that today's little hike is brought to you by Badass Coffee. No, they don't sponsor me. I wish they did. They're a coffee company out of Hawaii. Well, I became introduced to 20 some odd years ago, I guess. 22. And 22 years ago. And they went out of business. I noticed that they're back in business. I've been drinking coffee since probably 1980. Seriously, drinking coffee since 1980. Before that, if I had a cup of coffee, it had so much cream and sugar in it, I'd just call it flavored milk. Nowadays, I just drink it black. And I prefer my roast to be dark. Darker the better. This particular blend from Badass Coffee. It's called Volcano or Volcanic. It is an extra dark roast. It's very tasty. So since I just turned my app on, not exactly the actual mileage of the hike is going to be a little bit longer than the reported length of the hike. Last time I was out on the cloudy day 5-miler, I was wearing my Walmart mock trail runners from a Via. Today I'm back to giving my wee yas, my barefoot shoes, another run. They are very, very comfortable. It is literally like walking barefoot. I feel very good. And like I said this before, you got to wear these. You got to get your feet used to being splayed out like that. We keep our feet so confined in the shoes that we wear that when you walk barefooted, it takes a little bit of getting used to. It's been raining around here a lot. I think on Monday. Yeah, I think on Monday it rained all day long, non-stop. And I suspect with the storm that's hitting California, that here in a day or two it'll be raining again, non-stop. In past little excursions, I've kind of done a 360-degree turn and shown you all the mountain range, we're pretty much in the donut hole. So whichever way the clouds are being steered, be it from the west or from the south or from the east, and on occasion from the north, though that's more buildup than being steered by the winds, we're pretty much in the dead center of the donut. So it rains all around us, and we tend not to get too much rain out this way. And there has been in the past days where you could step out front and it'd be raining cats and dogs, and step into your backyard, it wasn't raining at all. The desert's nice after a rain. The desert's nice before a rain, and it's particularly pleasant when after a rain things have opened up. The air's fresh. All the multitudes of greens are bright. I don't know if y'all heard that, or if you can see that. That was a hawk.
Workout paused.
This collection of debris right there, that is a pack rat's home.
Workout resumed.
My guess is that that hawk, well, he could have been going after a rabbit, might have found himself a pack rat, because he is not in the sky anymore. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but there's a hummingbird off to our right here. that. I hope you can.
Workout paused.
That is the baddest aircraft ever made. That is the A-10 that the Pentagon keeps trying to shut down. Now, I don't know who watches these. Probably nobody, but that's all right. But if you go back to Desert Storm, you can watch the A-10s perform. And you can ask anyone in the cavalry or in the infantry what they'd rather see coming up over their shoulder. I can tell you what, they're in a ground fight, they're going to want to see an A-10. But the Pentagon well, they want to line their pockets with the defense industry's latest and greatest. And take a perfectly good combat aircraft and mothball it. Which is just typical. And our last senator, Martha McSally. Hey, Martha. And our current senator, Mark Kelly. Have fought and won small skirmishes to keep the A-10 in the air. And if I could, I would buy up every single one of those and start my own Air Force. Those convoys of Russian supply trucks lined up. One pass, and all those would be gone. Had we supplied the Ukrainians with A-10s right at the beginning of the Russian invasion, I'm pretty sure that war would be over. Personal opinion. So at the request of one of my followers, that's that one subscriber that you guys see if you look at how many people are following my videos. I got one. Though for some odd reason, my cloudy day 5 mile part 2 has 300 and something views. Now part one's got like, I don't know, 6, 8. Part 2, I jumped up on some viewership there for some reason. But at the request of that one subscriber, when I got to the junction back there, I took a left. We're walking along the high wire line. I'm pretty sure I know where this goes. This trail here, that one right there with all that trash at the top of it, that one heads back into that cattle land that we traversed on the first hike out this way. And I suspect this trail here does nothing but follow the telephone lines, and it's just a service line for these. So it'll just be a straight shot. What's in front of us is little shopping mini mall area. Ace True Value Lumber, Rita Ranch Automotive, Cereal Grillers. They have a lovely Mexican carniceria there. Brake Max. I need to jump on that tomorrow, not the Brake Max, but it's time to change oil on the X. So I gotta hope the wife takes off someplace where I can pull that into the driveway, crawl up underneath it, and get that done. Xterra has the strangest oil system I have ever seen on a vehicle. Oil filters up front. I've always seen it off to the side. The first time I did that, I was like, what the hell is this thing? Actually, this is the road that goes next to the cattle ranch. And I think I said this before, this is all open range out here. This is state land, city land, county land, BLM. Probably not private land, though it might be. And that heads up to the road. It might be private land. Developers, I think I've said this before, buy up this land. They throw a couple of cows on it, and they're able to take a subsidy off their taxes from the government. That's a smart businessman, you know. The ones that don't pay their taxes so that we have to pay more taxes, and we applaud them for being smart businessmen and not paying their taxes. Now, I said this before, I ain't got no kids. adopted, so Lord knows where my birth family is. And I like my adopted brothers and sisters, my little nieces and nephews. But taking care of this planet, that's on y'all. And taking care of each other, that's on every single one of us. And you cannot like the government. And you cannot like one party or the other party. And you can applaud those businessmen that find a way to get around the tax laws. And you can convince yourself that they're patriots. But the truth is, if you look at it, patriots are selfless. They give of themselves to defend our nation, to protect all of us. And we, you and I, because ain't no rich people watching this video, we pay our taxes to help all of us. And those people that find a way not to pay their taxes, they're freeloaders. They might as well be walking into your house and taking money out of your pocket, because your taxes go up because of those people. And one of the things that I hear from all sides is that we Americans stick together. But if you're not paying your taxes, I don't see how you can call yourself an American. Because you ain't sticking with the rest of us. The rest of us are paying our taxes. And when bridges fall down and dams burst and electrical grids collapse, because of old age, and we've got elected officials that are playing politics with bills that are designed to help you and I out, to help keep our roads and bridges and electrical infrastructure viable, they're not Americans either. And I think we need to take a true look at ourselves and say, if my road has potholes and I can't afford to do it, but there's people on my street that if we all pulled together, we could have that pothole hole filled up. At a minimum cost to all of us. Sounds like a good thing. I know in my neighborhood, if you want to raise the height of your wall, you go to your neighbor and you say, hey, I'd like to raise the height of the wall. Would you be willing to pay half of it? And if you got a good neighbor, he'll say, yeah, absolutely. And if you don't, he'll say, no, I'll pass. You go ahead and pay for that all yourself. And you can't afford it, so you don't do it. And then all of a sudden, one year comes around, and I don't know, he's got a landscaper out there. He's got some kids or something, and they break a hole in the wall. So now he's got to repair the wall. He comes to you and he says, hey, how about if we go in halves on repairing this wall? Now me, I'd help him repair the wall because I'm a good guy. But you know what I'd like to tell him? Remember back when? You go ahead and pay for that wall yourself. Now there's those that say, well, you're just a sucker if you're going to help him pay for that wall. But you know what? We're all in this together. And none of us are going to come out alive on the other end. I'm looking at this here. Let me tilt down. I'm not sure if y'all can see that. I've been walking across this. And you'd look at this and you'd go, is that concrete? Some cement truck just come out here and dump this? But I think I'm thinking that might be caliche that's been exposed by runoff. And based on what I'm seeing on this road, this ditch that's carved out here, the water that's running off into it. I may not be on a road. And all those clouds in the distance, that is where the flash floods come out. You'd be walking along something like this, it'll be 103 degrees out, hot. And all of a sudden you'll look up in the front and there's a trickle of water. Yeah, that's time to run. Because there's a wall of water coming behind that trickle. Anyway, me as a human, I just try and do the best I can. I don't need no set of rules, no religion. Tell me how to behave towards my fellow man. You kind of already know. You kind of already know what's right and wrong. You probably figured that out by the time you were 6 years old. And if you didn't, well, you weren't paying attention. So, we have got a trail that goes off this way, which is the direction we were heading, and a trail that goes off that way.
Workout paused.
And I think that I will continue north and I will explore this eastbound track on another day. Does that go on, or is that a dead end? Let's walk up here just a second.
Workout resumed.
It turns, yeah. So we'll come down that way and find out where that goes on another day. I really want to get out into Saguaro Monument East and take a long hike out to the first campsite that you come out. It's the closest one into the city. And just hike out there and hike back. It will be a grueling hike because I think it's intended to hike out, camp, and hike back. But that's okay. I'd like to see what the terrain's like. I'd like to see what the campground's like. I hear there's trees up there. So for me, you know, if I can leave the tent behind and sleep in a hammock, that's the most comfortable. But if the trees aren't high enough, then good. I'll be able to test out putting up my tent, checking out my other gear, cooking some dinner. And if I'm lucky, maybe filming a video of me pooping in the woods. I am kidding. Relax. Ain't nobody want to see that. But having said that, I do have my trowel with me. I could step off the road right now and dig a 6 to 8 inch hole, videotape it, and fill it back in. Because I'm a regular kind of guy. I'm taking care of my business for the day. Another little trail. Ooh.
Workout paused.
That is a pretty blue bottle. Yeah.
Workout paused.
So that's a question out to the group. What do you suppose was in this? it down for a minute. Is this a modern bottle? Yep. Something called platinum. When I was working construction in Marshall Island, in the Marshall Islands and came across a blue bottle like that. Not that big, they were little, maybe about 3 inches or so. Those were morphine bottles. And a historian told me that we had dug through a old field hospital in World War II. It's nice out this way. So in the distance over here, I can see what I would think is I don't know, it's got like, I don't know if you can see that, it's got field lights, like there's baseball field or something like that over there, but I know there's not. So I'm thinking that might be a self-storage place, and those are lights to keep it lit up at night. Right here is a substation. By the way, you idiots that are shooting up substations, man, find something else to do. Okay, all you outdoorsmen. Who do you suppose belongs to that? Can you see that? Is there enough definition? That right there. Got claws. Might be a baby coyote. Ooh, let's not walk through the mud. I'll tell you what we got out here. We do have skunk. Though they don't either tend to be numerous or don't come out. They stay out here in the desert. Occasionally you'll smell them, but you'll never see a carcass on the road. And we have Quatamundes, which are our version of a raccoon. Get up out of the sand to get up on the hard dirt up here. And we got rabbit and ground squirrels and various type of mice and various types of rats. I mentioned pack rat. But we also have a sufficient amount of hawks, owls, falcons, to keep most of our critters regulated anyway. Occasionally, if you're not paying attention, you can find them in your house, but a vigilant homeowner will kind of pay attention to his home. Make sure that kind of stuff isn't going on. Now, I told you, maybe I didn't. I used to own a landscaping company, and that right there, that'd be a fine.
Workout paused.
A fine and a find. I'd be out here picking that up, trying to figure out a way to use that. This here, what is this here? I'm going to take a guess that this is going to be Valencia Road. Yeah. Now, just to our west here is a road that y'all can fight over the pronunciation. We always say Houghton. There's people that say Houghton. That just seems like too much work. And that runs north to south, just to the west of us here. And Valencia goes all the way, and it goes all the way out to the west, all the way out to the Tucson Mountains. But east of here, this wasn't paved until recently. So I don't know where all these people are going. Maybe they built a housing development out that way.
Workout paused.
Well, for the longest time, that was dirt road. And that, I don't know if you can see that dirt road in the distance, but that was a four-wheel drive climb straight up the face of that, up into the ranch that's up there. I want to say the Circle K, but that ain't it. There's a ranch up that way. At one time, there's very nice homes on acre plus lots up there. Some nicer than others. Because that was the boonies at one time. They got a farmer's market out that way. I'd buy food out there, but I don't think I'd buy products. I bought a belt out there. It was beautiful. It didn't last a month. Luckily, I didn't pay that much for it. Oh, so in an effort to, for y'all that are following this for whatever reason you'd be following this, hiking, backpacking, gear reviews and things like that. I just watched a YouTube series on a gentleman that I want to say through hiked the AZT, and it got me thinking. He went southbound, starting up at the Utah border and ending up in Mexico. And when you do the Arizona Trail, if you're going northbound, you apparently get put in a drop-off area, parking lot, and you have to hike 1.8 miles, something like that, not far, down to the Mexican border. Maybe it's 2.8 miles. Down to the Mexican border, touch the monument, turn around, and hike up a mountain. And it would just seem to me that if you were new to hiking and you ain't got your hiking legs yet, taking your first steps on the Arizona Trail going straight up the mountain might be pretty disheartening. And then let's talk lack of water. Lack of water your first 2 days. Lack of water your next 3 days. Lack of water when you hit Tucson, unless you dip down into the city, get off trail and buy yourself some water. Lack of water pretty much all through the rincons there. There's some waterfalls and streams, but some tanks. And then that right there, the foothills heading into that's just bone dry hotness there. And I've been up Mount Lemmon several times. You can see snow up there, so you know there's water at some place. And when I go, I'll try and show you as much water spots as I can along the trail. I'm not going to get off trail to show you water, but that's just trial by fire right there, I think.
Workout resumed.
Whereas you go up to Utah, the trails look flat. They look nice. Not a lot of elevation loss or gain. More loss than gain. And you'll hike for a good way before things start getting serious. And even when they do start getting serious, you're dropping down into the Grand Canyon and then up. And while hiking rim to rim, Grand Canyon sounds tough, and it is. I know many grandmothers that have done it. And I think by then you'll have walked enough miles to where your legs will have the strength to muster that.
Workout paused.
I think you'll be just fine.
Workout resumed.
And then you're going, let's see, across the flatlands to Flagstaff, and then down out of Flagstaff, down the Mungian Rim, through the superstitions and the desert, and you know, there's ups and downs in there, believe me. But I noticed this fella where he was taking 10-mile days when he first started. And by the time he hit the Grand Canyon, he was doing 16 and 20-mile days. So he was well into his hiking legs. And
Duration 52 minutes 34 seconds.
he's an older gentleman, not as old as me, but older. None of the 30-year-olds or anything, 20 and 30-year-olds that you see the videos posted on. And I just kind of think that if I scout out the trail and strategically place some cached water at spots and cached goodies at spots, be my own trail angel, that going southbound and then arriving home might be in and of itself its own reward, versus moving northbound away from home and then having to have someone from home pick me up and take me back home. or or hike the whole damn thing again, another 800 miles to get back home, which would more than likely be the case. I know there's a few shuttle services around that could get me up to Phoenix Airport, and my wife has some in-laws that live up in Phoenix who, for some unknown reason, like me. They'd probably give me a lift out of Phoenix anyway, maybe even up to Flagstaff. And then I suspect I could rent a car or something out of Flagstaff, take it up to the northern terminus and jump out and start hiking. I don't know if Enterprise or National or Hertz or anybody like that would appreciate having to go up there to pick up their car. Like, oh, hell no. But those are things that can get worked out. And of course, you know, I've got the Xterra, so I could drive up there with the driver and then have that driver take my car back home. And I've been up that way to Utah. It's where my adopted family mostly lives. And I can tell you, when you get up around that area, it feels good. It smells good. Now, I haven't exactly, I've looked at the northern terminus on a map, but I haven't placed that into perspective of where I've actually been when I've been up there as to what I'll see when I get up there. Not sure if that made sense, but whatever. But the area that fronts the Vermilion Cliffs, that place is no joke. that's flat desert. Then there's a place along the way, and I've seen on videos people camping out there, and I think it's along the trail, called Jacob's Lake. And that gets you excited, because you just have to cross the desert getting there. And yeah, there's no water there. The guy that owns the place, of course, they might have strung him up, threw him out of town, I don't know. But he decided that he wanted to make his lake deeper and make more money off of the people that came by, or some stupid ass thing. And he took a dredge out there, started dredging up the bottom of the lake, broke the seal on it, so it's just a big empty dry hole out there that doesn't hold water anymore. So if you're heading out that way, either heading northbound or southbound, and you see a sign for Jacob's Lake, yeah, it's no pristine, pretty lake like the billboards that are along the way lead you to believe. It's just a dry hole. However, there is a souvenir shop that'll gladly sell you moccasins made in China, and rattlesnake head paperweights, and touristy items like that. So, the things you find out in the desert.
Workout paused. Workout resumed.
That was just random. When I was a kid, second and third grade, so 67, 68, living in Springfield, Virginia, off the Side and Stricker Road. We lived in a 2-3-story house. From the front it looked like a 2-story, but it was up on a hill. The back dropped off, so you had a basement, but the basement opened up to the backyard on the back side of the hill. Now this is a new development. And out in front of us was nothing but wooded wilderness. 70 acres of a farm that belonged to a man named Zale. We called him Farmer Zale. And we went over, stirred up our courage. Me, my brother, Chris Walton, his brother, Dan, young man named Tim. We were all the boys that lived up at the top of the neighborhood. The neighborhood was all back behind us. We went over to Farmer Zell and said, "Would you mind if we trespassed on your property from time to time?" He eyed us up and down. I can't remember if he said yes or no, but whatever his answer it was, it didn't stop us. And there was this one place in the fence on his land. They had 2 posts. It looked like you could put a gate there, but it didn't have a gate. It had barbed wire. We're 7 years old. So that was our magical path into a wilderness land. we would dip through that, and it was like stepping through a time portal. And we would go walking off into the woods. Well, we'd cross his field, walk into the woods. And when we were out in those woods, we would find the most amazing things. Old camps. Don't know if they were hobo settlements. Don't know if they were backwoods people that camped there for a while before they moved on. But we'd find utensils, pots, bottles, jars. And I'd be surprised if one of those kids we hung with didn't grow up to be an archaeologist, because finding that stuff was just cool. And in the fall, we'd go over to Farmer Zell's. We'd watch him shoot a hog right between the eyes. Hoist it up, gut it, dip it in a big galvanized trough full of boiling oil, hoist it up again, shave the fur off of it, start cooking and curing that meat. That was our front yard. Our backyard, we sat at the top of a very, very big hill. Our house was built on a hill, and the hill was on a hill. You'd go down that road, and I can't remember the name of it. But you'd go down that road, walk along the sidewalk of the neighborhood, and you'd get to a point and the road would just drop. And during the winter, we would get on sleds, plastic discs, and toboggans. And we'd go slide down that thing. You know, when they do luge in the Olympics, there's curves. There's not curves on this. This is straight suicide shot straight down the hill. And when you get to the bottom, the road takes a 90-degree turn to the right. And in front of you is 20-30 feet of grass, and then the woods. So if you haven't figured out how to stop yourself on the way coming down that hill, yeah, you're on a trip to the hospital. And during the spring and summer, once Virginia thawed out, you go off into those woods and it's green and lush, and there's streams running everywhere down there, and frogs, tadpoles, trees down over the river that you could walk across. Just go tromping off into the woods. They built a new school up the hill. We did in the second grade. We got bused farther into Springfield, I guess, to go to some school. And by the time third grade came around, they had built a school at the top of the hill. So you'd leave our house, walk along the road, go down a hill and up a hill, and at the top of the hill was the school. And since we were the first kids in the school, we got to name the school. And I don't know what these kids were thinking, but they took the names of the various housing developments that were around, and they named the school Rolling Orange. Don't know why. Met my first best friend there, named Johnny Keys. He lived in a different housing development that you could get to by walking through the woods and taking a path through the woods, and then crossing over a new development. Where they'd torn up the forest and plowed the land flat and dug the footing of the houses. But it snows and it rains in Virginia. The basements would collapse and fill up with mud and create ponds. And for some reason, swimming out into those in that mud, somehow that sounded like a good idea. We did that on several occasions. And we would have to form lifelines to pull our buddies out, because they'd get stuck in the mud. I think I'm coming across the first people I've ever seen on this trail. Yep, runners. Hey guys. Future track stars. I guess in this day and age, I shouldn't have said, hey guys. I just should have said, hey y'all. Because I'm pretty sure one of those didn't identify as male. Had a woman yesterday preaching to me about the craziness of the liberals and being woke. I said, I'm sorry. I don't exactly know what woke is. I've heard them talk about it on TV, heard people complaining about it one way or another. I don't know what you're talking about. Can you explain that to me? And she couldn't. She was adamant that she hated people that were woke, but she couldn't explain what woke was. But she pointed to her significant other. I guess they weren't connected to one another, but had been together for, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years. And he's sick. He's in the hospital. He's sick. But he won't put on a hospital gown. Doesn't want to be there. Pretty sure it's just a spider bite on his arm. But it was nasty. I'm telling you all that right now. He's going to spend a week, if not weeks, on antibiotics, clearing up the infection on his arm. And he was in a full-on echo chamber conversation with his father or father-in-law in the hospital. And you know these two people know each other. So they're just saying the same shit to each other every time they get on the phone. It's like, y'all just don't listen to anyone else but yourselves. What does that tell you? Maybe time to get a fresh perspective? So just to spark a little conversation between y'all, if y'all can explain to me what woke is. What else was she complaining about? Something that they're supposedly teaching in school. And, you know, I said it in this video, I probably said it in other videos, I ain't got no kids. I don't give a shit what you're teaching your kids in school. I don't have any grandkids. Whoops, talking with my hands. Sorry about that shaking. So, if you were to ask me, if you don't want your kids, your grandkids, and your great-grandkids spitting on your grave and cursing your name, I would think what you want to be teaching them in school is compassion to one another and the truth about our past, so that we aren't bound to repeat it. But if y'all want to walk in circles instead of in a straight line, that's like I said, that's on y'all. Which brings me to another thought I had. I've watched several videos on YouTube, and been seeing these things about trail family, and trail angels, trail magic, trail names. And when I first started watching it, I got the impression that the people that you met and the people that you traveled with gave you your trail name. But when I started watching sorry about that. I'm gonna guess that this right here and that back there where I stopped at, and this right here, I guess that's Javelina. Right here. And over there, and there, right there. Guess with all this rain, these dusty, dry, brittle cactus shrubs, the roots swell up with water. That's probably a good source of moisture for them. Anyway, when I started thinking about what would it be like to go from Maine to Georgia versus going Georgia to Maine, because I've always called the Appalachian Trail Maine to Georgia. And the patch that I have from the Appalachian Trail says Maine to Georgia, and say Georgia to Maine. So average speed 2.2 miles per hour. Elevation 3,035 feet. I started wondering, what would it be like to go from Maine to Georgia? So I started watching YouTube videos where people had actually gone southbound. And it was then that they started talking about, well, you know, if you're a party individual, you want to go Georgia to Maine, because everyone goes Georgia to Maine, and you'll be traveling with groups of people, and you'll create this trail family, and eventually you will have a trail name. And I said, well, that's cool. The southbound hikers were saying, ain't nobody out here. I haven't seen anybody for days. And when you do see them, it's for a second, hey, how's it going? They're heading the other way. They're heading north, you're heading south. When you stop for the night, because your mileage is different than their mileage, you're typically stopping at a shelter that has nobody at it. And on the rarest of occasions, if your pace is faster than the person in front of you, you'll eventually overtake them. Or if your pace is slower than the person behind you, they'll overtake you, and you'll meet someone along the southbound route. So I noticed that these southbound people were giving themselves their trail names. I'm just wondering What do y'all think on that? Do you give yourself a trail name? And put out to the world who you think you are? Or do you get a trail name? And you're identified how other people see you, how you present yourself to others. And speaking of southbound, tell you about a gentleman named Moon Juice Hiker, or Moon Juice Hikes. Check him out on YouTube. Give him a subscribe and a like. I have no idea how far I've walked. But I've done 9,000 steps. 9,000 and something. Hopefully I'll hit my 10,000. I think I've mentioned this before. I try and do 10,000 steps a day. I recently heard somewhere that doing 10,000 steps a day will help to stave off dementia. And I know, too late. But you know. That's my joke to the people at the hospital. You go, John, you're always so happy. I go, happy? Oh. Yeah, back at the home, they call that dementia. I'm kind of liking the current situation at the hospital. We have very, very small core staff. Nurses are hard to find. Kids of this current generation don't want to work, so techs are hard to find. And then the ones that do get hired 3 months into the job, they want a raise. And I just laugh. It's like, I've been doing this for 11, 12 years. I've never had a raise. Good luck to you on that. Because I tell you what, now nurses, they make a lot of money. They don't make a ton of money. They're not doctors. They're actually smarter than doctors. But they don't make any money. But the people that work under them, the techs, the LPNs, the Let's Play nurse, the dietary people, the housekeeping people, they don't make any money at all. But if they're doing what they're doing to make money, they need to find another career path. Because if you're working at a hospital, you should be working at the hospital because you want to help other people. Even those people that don't want help. And I tell you what, there are a lot of them. Ooh. Oh, there's 10,000. Yay. I thought I had a lot farther to go than that to reach 10,000. Ooh, and it's 4:51. I know some dogs that are very upset right now. And when I pull into the driveway, you'll hear my boy. Well, you won't because the video will be off, but everybody else will. He'll be yelling at the door. Where the hell you been? What's wrong with you? Do you know what time it is? I'd bring him out with me, but I don't think he'd come along. I really don't. I think we'd get maybe to this turn right here, and he'd look up at me and go, "Where are we going? What are we doing?" And he'd just stop, sit down, go, "Yeah, you can take me back to the truck." There's some things I got to get done. Talked about the oil change. I need to get out to the ranger station at Swirl Monument East so I can drop $80 for a stupid park pass. That I'm gonna have to ask some questions about that. I mean, I want to go hiking up in there, and that's fine. I think you can hike all you want. You can come off the Speedway trailhead or the Broadway trailhead and avoid paying $25 to park in by the ranger station. But need to find out about the permission to camp in there and getting camping permits, and I'm going to need to do all that when I hit the Arizona Trail, because once you get up here to Tucson, they're going to require that. I think there's probably a couple of other spots along the way where they're going to require permits to camp. And if that national park pass can help me avoid paying whatever to camp, then sounds like a good deal. But if I've only got to camp in, let's say, 4 places along the way, and it's $10 to camp overnight, and it's $80 for this national park pass, what am I doing? But, you know, if it's also good on the Appalachian Trail, and yeah, I'm thinking about doing the Appalachian Trail, and that'll just be crazy. I mean, like, I'm carrying 20 pounds right now, and granted, I was hurting already when I came out because I'm freaking old, but my shoulders are bothering me, and I've dropped my pack down to rest on my butt a little bit and got the straps on my elbows versus up on my shoulders. Now, hold on. Hey, how are you? That's okay. I was talking to Mike.
I was trying to get him to tell me what time it was.
It is 4:55.
Thank you.
You too. Cyclist. So, she can be out in the dirt. Oh well. What were we saying? Lord knows, probably wasn't important. As nothing I say when I'm walking is important. Killing time. Just doing some introspective thinking. Oh yeah. Doing the Appalachian Trail. That's 2,000 miles? 4,000? That can't be 4,000 miles. 2,000 miles? And I just did, I don't know, 5 miles. And I was going to say, I don't have my little day pack. I don't have the chest strap hooked up to hold the pack on properly. There's no waistband to snug it up on my waist, so my shoulders are taking the brunt of the weight. But it's 20 pounds. And the thing that scares me is it's 20 pounds and nothing. So this is where I guess when you're hiking, you have to look at, what do I need? And where am I going to need this other stuff? Oh, when you get up to Flagstaff at this time of year, it's probably going to be raining. So you're going to want to have an outer shell. Oh, when you're crossing the desert here, you're not going to need a puffy. Well, you might at night, because it's the desert and it's cold at night. And the puffy, it doesn't weigh anything. But are you going to need a raincoat? Would just a little poncho do? I'm definitely not going to be taking this big tarp that I have currently in this. The tarp, it might have been wasted money, but it's just a really nice tarp. And if I want to go out and just like overnight cowboy camp, like even out here in this, and just to get out, just to practice some skills. I'm starting to look at food and what I might be taking. And I like to cook. And I'm not so sure that you can survive on Noel's pasta and oatmeal and that kind of thing. For 40 days. And while, yeah, I'm gonna need to drop some weight, but I'm sure I'll be burning calories. Just gonna need to figure weights out and what I need to take and what I need to send ahead and where I can send it. Because I really haven't got a support crew. So it's going to be scary. That's all right. Well, this is AZT at 63, and I've reached the trailhead. There's the X. So I'll say goodnight to y'all. Thanks for coming along.